Hey everyone. So I've been saying for about a week and a half that I was going to start a new series specifically targeted towards women entitled Death of a Nation. So recently I've been seeing a lot of posts from women, a lot of comments from women, and it's getting to a point where it's heartbreaking at this point. I'm not really understanding where we are as women, how we've gotten here to a place of debauchery, and reveling in it, reveling in things that are dysfunctional, reveling in maladaptive behaviors that maybe have stemmed from traumas or past hurt or any, absentee fathers or abusive mothers, whatever the case may be. There are a lot of unhealed women, but a lot of us are walking around as if we are healed and we call ourselves queens and mothers and wives, and we're not acting accordingly. And every time it gets brought up, every time someone tries to put us into the hot seat and cause us to take some type of personal accountability or responsibility for our own decisions and actions, it always becomes a finger pointing game where we look at the men and it's all their fault, right? But we're never examining the role of the mothers and that how that has played into all of our upbringings, right? Because no matter if, except with the exception of some, there are some people that I know that have been solely raised by their fathers. So, in that instance, the circumstances are slightly different, but for the most part, most of us are primarily raised by our mothers, regardless of the fact if your parents are married and they live in the same household or not. For the most part, it's typically traditional that the mother is the one that's doing most things in the house, right? Excuse me. So we can't excuse her of the role that she has played in the dysfunction of her children. And, I'm a mother, so I have to take personal accountability all the time. I have to take evaluations of myself. I have to take, pull my own card a lot of times. I'm like, okay, you today you wasn't having a great day. Like you need to chill, or have a conversation with my son. Like, but mama's really tired, or I haven't, whatever it is. I have to explain to him that my feelings are my feelings, and it has nothing to do with him. Or I have to explain to him, oh, mommy's this, so if I may not be in the mood to play right now, you need to have better conversations, because a lot of times those things aren't happening. We're not explaining to our children what we're feeling in an appropriate way. Okay, we're not explaining to them in an appropriate way what we're feeling, but that's not the point. I'm going way far, so I'm going to back up and start with what is going on. How do we get here? It is such a funny thing because we are never held to the fire. Well, that's not true. We are held to the fire, but then when we are, we hop out of the hot seat, right? We passing the hot potato so fast. Oh no, not me. Oh, not me. We're throwing it so quickly because we don't want to hold it and say, yeah, I put this potato in the pot. So Death of a Nation is going to explore a barrage of things. We're going to dig into what is a nation. We're going to dig into are we moving forward of a place of life giving? I'm going to explore the synopsis of the current state of women, and how we got here. Where did we come from? Our previous state. Where are we now? Right? I'm going to dive into promiscuity, into the abortion statistics, even though we've heard a lot of them, but I'm going to dive in anyway because it's very relevant. And we're going to talk about how, we as women have taken or either forced men into fatherhood or forced them out of it. And we're also going to talk about this common cliche, or not cliche per se, but saying, I am the table. We're going to dig into that. And then personal accountability, responsibilities. And then what causes us as women to be undesirable. to men. We're going to dive into a lot of things, and at the ends of it all, I'm going to offer some solutions, because that's ultimately what we need. I'm not going to just sit here and lay out all the things that we're doing wrong without giving you solutions and how we can improve together as a community of all of us as women, as sub communities, my community in particular as well. I'm going to talk about some things that are specific to women in my community in particular, and then I'm going to talk about women as a whole, so it's not just a situation where it's just women who look like me who are doing these things, because it's like, well, why do white women get to? Why do Latina women? It doesn't matter who gets to do what. This is not a race to see who can be the most dysfunctional. We should be racing toward virtue. But we ran so far away from virtue. We've gotten so far past that. We don't even know where we are now. So let's dive in. My people. So let me make myself comfortable, because I'm not. My back is not the best. So, what is a nation, right? So, I'm not going to get too far into everything. I'm going to keep myself on this outline, because I will digress so far, and I don't want to do that. I want to keep this very uniform so everyone has a complete understanding of where I'm coming from and where I'm going, okay? So, let's explore just what is a nation, right? We've heard of the popular documentary Birth of a Nation, and then we had Brother Nate come out with his own Birth of a Nation, which was an amazing movie. And the fact that you guys didn't support him on because of some bogus claims is really unfortunate. But nevertheless, so a nation is a race of people, a large group of people with common ancestry and language, that which has been born. That's what the etymology of the word, that which has been born. So the nation comes from the woman, because you can't be born of man, right? Because women, we are the ones with the womb. We're the ones that give birth. We are, right? We're the ones that are responsible for, from the time of conception, bringing the human into the world and then feeding said human from our own bodies. So we know mitochondrial DNA is from the mother. If that which has been born, our nation, can only be birthed through us, then have we been fruitful, right? That's the question. And if our seeds bearing seeds. So a lot of times, a lot of the social media circles I run in, most of us are either vegan or vegetarian. We take our health very seriously. And a lot of the comments or statements that are made, we always say we're not going to eat anything that doesn't have seeds, because then it's not real, right? If you're supposed to be a fruit, but you're not bearing more seeds, then you're genetically modified, right? So something has messed, you've been altered in some way, right? That's unnatural to the real state that you're supposed to be in. Okay, are we following? Okay. Now, I know some people are going to try to pull a card. Well, some women can't have birth. Some women aren't able to. I recognize that. That's not what I'm talking about here. Follow me metaphorically. What kinds of fruit has come from our trees, right? We have to look at the state of all of our children. How are our women? How are our daughters acting? How are our sons out here acting, right? We can't say that it's just all on the fault of the father or all on the fault of the children and completely excusing the mother. Just because you birthed someone or just because you've raised someone doesn't mean you've done that properly. Doesn't mean that you've done all that you could. Doesn't mean that you're entitled to all the pedestals and crowns and gifts, right, that we would typically give to real life deserving mothers, people who are really out here raising humans in a positive way in which they have positive characteristic traits that are revered and respected, right? Traits that are bragged about, things that you would want to brag about, not the crap that are being bragged about today. Or no, good quality. Oh, he's so honest, and she's so loyal, and he's so respectful, and oh, she's so polite, and oh, he's so mannerable. Oh, she's so modest. Oh, he's such a gentleman. She's such a lady. He's so well spoken. She's so, those are the things that people used to talk about with children. Oh, your child's so well spoken. Your children are so well behaved. They're always so polite. That's what we would hear as children in the 80s growing up. Nowadays, all I hear is, oh, she's so cute. He's so cute. Oh, look at what they can do. Oh, look, she dancing. Oh, look, he can shoot. Oh, look, he pushed the basketball. Like, okay, and those things are cute. Yay. You know what I mean? But look at where we went from where we are now. Look at the things that we're celebrating, right? And then I asked the question, are we even fruit-bearing trees? And that has nothing to do with human children. This has everything to do with the fruit of your actions, the fruit of your behavior. What are you putting out into the world? If you were a literal tree and someone walked by you, how would they speak of you? Is the fruit you're bearing gossip, turmoil, discordance, disrespect, degradation, dishonesty, all the disses? Or are you real life light and love and patience and peace, right? And we have a responsibility to our nation to be the progenitors we were created to be, and we have not been, ladies. What is a progenitor? A progenitor is someone who gives birth to, who creates, one who creates, right? Women, we are co-creators. I remember seeing a speech from the Honorable Louis Minister Farrakhan. He mentioned, I don't remember specifically, but he said women are the co-creators with the Most High. We are the co-creators. He said, Allah, we're the co-creators with God, with whom, whatever you want to call them, right? Well, not whatever, but that's neither here nor there. We are the co-creators because we are the vessels that he allows to use for us to bring life into this world. We kill our seed. We don't take proper time to vet potential suitors to ensure that they are worthy of our womb. And that's a huge thing, because that's one of the big things you guys are not taking responsibility for. We are not taking the proper time to vet potential suitors before we give them our womb. You're not even taking the time to see if he is even worthy. And you want to know why? Because you don't know your worth. You have placed your worth on what you look like, what you're wearing, what shoes you have on your feet. Don't nobody care about that. Yes, it's a good presentation, right? You're showing a good you're giving a representation of who you're wanting people to see. But then behind all that, it's just decay and foolishness and immorality, lasciviousness. You know what I mean? And, oh, y'all, my back. And we're not seeing that for what it is. We're not recognizing that for what it is. We're not calling it for what it is. Like Sister Yamla said, you got to call a thing a thing. And we have not been doing that because, oh, poor us women. Y'all supposed to protect us. Y'all supposed to do this for us and provide for us, right? But we're not even doing it for ourselves. Okay? We don't protect ourselves. We're out here all willy-nilly trusting whomever because he looked good, because he drives a nice car, because he got a lot of money, because he made you laugh, because he called you pretty, or whatever it is that he said, you fell for it. How did you fall for it? It's a con man is going to be a con man. But if you placed yourself in a position to believe the con, then you can only blame yourself. Because a wise woman does not get conned. Because she has discernment and patience and a listening ear. She's always ready and alert and vigilant. She's not easily swayed by romantics, Roman antics, things that are fleeting, things that are temporary. Because he buys you a lot of gifts and flowers and takes you on trips doesn't make him a good man. You got women out here getting pimped after a few months of being with a man who's showering them with gifts. They're being sex trafficked, beaten, abused. Or maybe they're not being abused. They're being neglected. He's never around. He's always out doing business. So you want these lives based on superficial and vapid things, but these things are fleeting. Because what happens if that man loses all his income? What value does he have to you then if you've only placed his value in his money? If you haven't taken the time to get to know if this man is the type of man that you want to be with, who is worthy of your womb, you can't blame him for doing what he does. Con men are gonna con, liars are gonna lie, haters gonna hate, hoes are gonna be hoes. Excuse my language. People are going to do what they are going to do if that's who they are. It's your responsibility to make sure that you haven't placed yourself in a position to be duped. It's on you. It's on us. It's our womb. And unless you've been taken advantage of, raped, assaulted, that's a different thing altogether. But I'm talking to the women who have made choices. Well, he told me he loved me, so that's enough. He told me I was the only one. People lie. He spends all his time with me. Does he really? So this man don't work at all? You see him 24/7? Come on, you guys. We got to think. We give ourselves freely to all. We have no discretion, no modesty, no humility. So I want to know, how have we come so far? How do we come so far, and how do we get here? And those are the things that I want to talk about. How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Okay. Sister Deborah said it best. How did we get here? Because nobody's supposed to be here. Now, she was talking about a love. I'm talking about none of us should be in this state of being as women. None of us should be in such a state that we have songs on the radio like WAP, and you got TikTok videos of young girls dancing to it. Even if there was no young girls dancing, the fact that you got women dancing to it, period. The fact that you got it recorded on an album, you got in a studio and said, yep, these are the words I want to say. This is the way I want to represent myself. And I'm going to give this to other women in my community. And those same women picked it up. That's my jam. There's a lot of women I know. Most of the women I know that I'm cool with don't like that song. So yay for me. But for real, because seriously. But for the other that do, like, how, y'all? And I know since the 60s, this has been the case because we had songs like Lady Marmalade on the radio. That was not full of debauchery. It's talking about prostitution, essentially. You had Aretha Franklin out here bearing it all. We forget about that. I respect the sister. I love her voice. But the truth is the truth. She was out here bearing it all. We done seen the pictures of her with her little fishnet shirt. So let's not. Okay? We had a lot of others since that time. So it's not like Megan Thee Stallion started it. It's not like Lil Kim started it. It's not like Foxy Brown started it. It's not like Salt and Pepper started it. You know what I mean? This has been a problem since the 60s. We went from singing songs about no, you can't hold my hand to I'ma bend it over. I'm not gonna front with y'all. Like, sometimes I just listen to some of these songs or watch some of these videos or read some of these comments, and I do legit like want to cry. Like, it's real life saddening, disheartening to see how far you guys go. And then to add to the fact that when you're called out on it, you further fight. You can't even concede to the truth because you're so far off into this immodesty and immorality, you don't even see it as a problem anymore. Y'all cool with walking out in see-through clothes. Everybody can see everything you have. You got shorts all the way up your butt. I was in a mall the other day, and chick was legit walking around with butt cheeks hanging out. You got teenage girls walking around like that. Man. In the 90s, spandex was the problem. I remember I wanted this outfit, these biker short top, spandex was all a thing in the early 90s. Bright, loud, neon colors, and them little biker shorts that came back around again. And I remember having that. It was the top, it was like the top came, it was a crop top, but the shorts came up really, really high. And the fact that I was short, like everything just, it was either really long or it came up really high on me. So my top and my shorts met. And even if I raised my arms, you couldn't really see my skin because my mama wouldn't have bought that outfit anyway. My friends were back then know better. Dora would not have bought that, but I remember one time me and my sister, she had like, I think hers was pink. Either mine was pink and hers was purple or whatever, something like that. And no, mine was pink and hers was turquoise. And we were in the park and we were swinging on the swings, and this guy came. He was a little older than us, but we were in middle school and he was in, I'm guessing, high school. Or he was supposed to be in high school. He could have been a dropout. I'm not sure. But he made a comment, about our bodies, and we were so like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Like, we ran off. We ran. I think I think that day I might have ran to my friend's mom's house. They didn't live very far. And we were just so uncomfortable. And since then, like, I don't wear shorts. The only time people have probably seen me in shorts after that was at track practice and stuff like that. But nowadays, like, you won't see me. It made me so uncomfortable that I was objectified in such a way because I didn't know what he was going to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but nowadays, I think at the time I might have been at the oldest, I was probably 10. I don't know. I think I might have been 10. My sister, yes, Nally could have been 12 at the time. Yeah, it was probably like 10 and 12 or 9 and 11. I don't know. But it just made me so uncomfortable. And even to this day, like, to get those kind of compliments, like, that's not really a compliment. But you got young girls at that age now, their parents, because I'm not going to say they dress themselves because they don't have no jobs to go buy the clothes to dress themselves. So Who's buying these clothes, right? All right. So, responsibility, ladies. You got these young girls in these crop tops and super short shorts, and you know, I'm seeing these prom pictures and they got the plunging necklines and all that, and they're welcoming it. They want to be seen like that. You got high school girls in full lace front rigs and they got the baby hairs coming down their eyeballs, and they got all the makeup and the snuffle up against lashes. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? And it's like, when did that become our culture? Because no disrespect to the Latinas, but like, a lot of Mexican girls, they have on a little short and they have on their lipstick and they big hoop earrings or earrings, period. Like, that's how they dress their young girls. And I'm not going to even get into that because I don't know nothing about it. It's not my community. So I'm just going to say that just to say that. But for us, that wasn't the norm. We barely even wore makeup. I still have people where I'm from, and now I'm getting to a place where I barely wear it. I love makeup. I like, how it makes me look from time to time when I'm going out. I will put on something, but at the same time, my face will still be my face. But there's a lot of women where I'm from, they still don't even wear makeup. You know exactly what they look like. If a man chooses a woman, he knew exactly who he's getting. You know what I mean? In the light of day, she's still who he met on day one. It's not a completely new person with a whole different skin tone and different eyebrows and eye color and lip shape and cheekbone shape and like, y'all change everything. But I digress. um I think I will dive in a little bit on, I went too far into my introduction, so I'm going to stop it in a little bit because I want to get a little bit deeper into the history, and I just don't want this video to be so long to where I can't post it, because I'm geriatric sometimes and I don't know how to work these internets. But yes, let me do this so I can save it, and then we will continue. Stay tuned, ladies.